In today's class, we are going to discuss on about what is called as contract of indemnity and guarantee. So before we get inside the class, let us be clear about what is called as indemnity and what is called as guarantee. Indemnity means here the loss of one person is being set right or bad by another person, and that is called as indemnity. What is called guarantee means here one person is going to give an assurance or a surety that if something wrong is going to happen, I will compensate the loss or I will bear the loss. So in that way, a guarantee or a surety is given by another person. So with this basic introduction, we will get inside what is called as contract of indemnity and guarantee. So first let us see what is called as contract of indemnity. So what happened under section 124, contract of indemnity has been defined as a contract by which one party promises to save the other from the loss caused to him by the conduct of the promisor himself or by the contact of any other person. So from these two lines, we are able to make out that this is a contract where one person promised to save the other person from the loss caused to him by the conduct of the promisor himself or by the conduct of any other person. So what we can make out is when one man incurs a loss, it will be set out by another person. That is what we can infer from this two lines definition. In this contract of indemnity, we are able to make out there are two important people who are involved in this. One is indemnifier and another man is called as indemnified. Who is called indemnifier means the person who promised to make good the loss is called as indemnifier. I told suppose if there are two people, one man says if something wrong happens, I will set right your loss. So the man who gives that assurance, that man is called as indemnifier. And the person whose loss is going to be made good, who is going to, the man who incurred loss, that man is called as indemnified. So here I got on about an example for an easy understanding. Mr. Shahir has taken an health insurance under LIC to the extent of rupees 5 lakhs. So that is what this example says, that here we are going to talk about a man called as Mr. Shahir. He had taken an insurance policy, that is LIC insurance policy, for an amount of rupees 5 lakh rupees. From this definition, what we can infer is Shahir, because he had taken an health insurance, he can take medical treatment under any hospital that falls under LIC list of hospitals. And all his medical bills will be paid by LIC because he had taken a LIC insurance policy. But the condition is LIC will bear his medical expenses only to the extent of rupees 5 lakhs because his policy amount is only 5 lakhs. So from this example, what we can infer is Shahir is called as the indemnified because if something wrong happens to Shahir, if he was being hospitalized, his medical bills, okay, that will be, he is the man, if he is going to incur any loss, okay, yeah, what happened, his loss will be set right by a company or a man called as LIC. Okay, if Shahir is going to get hospitalized, his medical bill will be paid by LIC. So in this example, Shahir is called as indemnified and LIC is called as the indemnifier. Next, we'll see what is called as contract of guarantee. So as I already told you, guarantee means here there are three people involved under contract of guarantee. Here one man is going to give an assurance or a guarantee or a surety that if something is going to go wrong for this person, I am there, I will bear the loss. So let us see on about the definition given under the Act. So the Act says that a contract of guarantee is a contract to perform the promise or discharge the liability of a third person in case of his default. As I already told you, there are three people involved in contract of guarantee. If it is contract of indemnity, only two people are involved. Under contract of guarantee, three people are involved. So here what happened was that out of these three people, there are three important characters. One is called as principal debtor, one is called as creditor, and the third person is called on about as a surety. And our contract of guarantee is very much bothered about this man called as surety, because he alone is going to give guarantee. Okay. So from this definition, what we can make out is, like as I already told you, the person who gives guarantee, no, that man is called as surety. The person in whose default the guarantee is given, no, he is called as a principal debtor. Okay. The person to whom the guarantee is given is called as a creditor. The guarantee can be given, that is the surety can give guarantee either in oral form or in written form. But as per the law, it is better to have all type of guarantee or surety in a written format for legal procedures. And surety can be in express or in implied form. Fine. So like now we have got an example. With this example, we will be able to better understand what is called as contract of guarantee, and we'll have a better understanding about all these three people: surety, principal debtor, and creditor. So here what happened, the example says Trisha requests couple to lend 10 lakh of rupees to Mahesh. See, as of now, we have seen three people. Trisha is asking couple to give 10 lakh of rupees to Mahesh and guarantees that if Mahesh fails to pay the amount, I will pay. So what does it mean is that Trisha is asking couple to give 10 lakh of rupees to Mahesh. If Mahesh did not pay, if he fails to pay, then I will pay. I will pay means Trisha is giving a guarantee. If Mahesh did not pay the amount, I will pay the 10 lakh of rupees to you. That is Mr. Couple. So from this example, we are able to make out that Trisha is called as a surety because Trisha is giving a guarantee. If Mahesh did not pay, I will pay. Couple is called as creditor. So creditor means the man who gives money. Okay, that man is called on about as a creditor. Mahesh, the man who has borrowed money. Okay, he is called as a principal debtor. Principal means he is the primary person who has borrowed money. So Mahesh in this example is called on about as a principal debtor. So under contract of guarantee, we are bothered about three people: surety, creditor, and principal debtor. So next we will see what is the difference that exists between contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee. Fine. So like what happened, there are six difference exists between contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee. Under contract of indemnity, there are only two parties involved. One man is indemnifier and another man is called as indemnified. But under contract of guarantee, there are three people who are involved. One is the creditor, one is the principal debtor, and the third man is the surety. So that is the first difference between contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee. The second difference is the liability of the indemnifier to the indemnified is primary. I told you, like that LIC example. So what happened was that the liability of LIC to Mr. Shahir is primary. Okay, because there is a contract that if something wrong happens to Shahir, LIC will compensate his medical bills. So in that way, the liability of the indemnifier to the indemnified is primary. Under contract of guarantee, the liability of the surety to the creditor is secondary. That is, what happened in that example I told you, if Mahesh did not pay the money to couple, if Mahesh did not repay the money to couple, then only Trisha has to pay it to Mr. Couple. So, the role of the surety is secondary. The third difference is there is only one contract. Okay, under contract of indemnity, there is only one contract, and that contract is between indemnifier and indemnified. In our example, it is a contract between Mr. Shahir and LIC. Under contract of guarantee, there are three contracts are involved. Okay, the first contract is between the principal debtor and creditor. In our case, it is between Mr. Mahesh and Mr. Couple. The second contract is between creditor and surety. Okay, in this case, in our example, the second contract is between the creditor, that is Mr. Kapil, and Ms. Trisha. The third contract is between the surety and the principal debtor. In our example, the third contract is between Trisha and Mr. Mahesh. So, under contract of guarantee, there are three contracts that are involved upon. The fourth difference is it is not necessary for the indemnifier to act at the request of the indemnified. That is, there is no it is not necessary that the indemnifier should act at the request of the indemnified. Okay, because whenever LIC comes to know that Mr. Shahir has been hospitalized, it is a duty of LIC to pay his medical bills. Okay, in the under contract of guarantee, it is necessary that surety should give guarantee at the request of the debtor. So only if in this example, if Mahesh requests, then only Trisha needs to give guarantee to Mr. Kapil. Okay. So here there is a request from the side of the debtor to the surety. But under contract of indemnity, no such request is required. The fifth difference is the liability of the indemnifier arises only on the happening of a contingency. In this example also, if Mr. Shahir is fine, nothing is wrong from the side of LIC. Only if there is an emergency, Mr. Shahir was hospitalized, he is not well, okay, he has undergone some treatment, he met up with an accident. Like that, if any emergency situation or contingency happens, only on that situation, LIC need to pay his hospital bills. Okay, only on an emergency situation, the liability of LIC is to compensate the medical bills of Mr. Shahir. But under contract of guarantee, there is an existing debt or a duty, the performance of which is guaranteed by the surety. Till Mr. Mahesh repays 10 lakh of rupees to Mr. Kapil, Trisha is always under the second door, that if something wrong happens, if Mahesh fails to repay, Trisha has to pay. The last difference is an indemnifier cannot sue a third party for loss in his own name. Okay. An indemnifier, that is LIC, cannot sue any other person for any loss that happens to it. But under contract of guarantee, a surety on discharging the debt due steps into the shoes of the creditor. So here what happens was that in our example, Trisha is the surety. So whenever, suppose take for example, if Mahesh fails to repay 10 lakh of rupees to Mr. Kapil. In this case, Trisha repays 10 lakh of rupees to Mr. Kapil. So a surety on discharging the debt steps into the shoes of the creditor. So what happened was that the surety, whenever the surety repays the amount on behalf of the principal debtor, she becomes a principal debtor and she is into the contract with the creditor. So all these are the 6 important differences that exist between contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee.